Yes,
I
bro.
was gonna say SBS
Bro, I'm
looks
so
good right
glad
now.
I held the NASDAQ, bro.
You see what happens when we distract ourselves in conversation?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Now, I know this intro is going to be a little bit different. Different scenery. I'm here on my third story balcony doing the intro today. But anyways, as you guys know, in the day trading institution, I actually have the live trading room where I go live pretty much 3 to 5 times a week. And I trade with my students, call out where I'm looking to take positions, call out when I move my stocks to break even, trailing stop losses, entries, exits, etc., etc. Pretty much just live trading on voice call. So today we ended up catching a few positions and I recorded some of the trades live, but the best position was the position that I actually caught on the NASDAQ, which I ended up making roughly like $30,000 ish. I was up like 36K at most. Wanted to let price give price a little bit more room to run, but then price started to pull back, so I ended up closing making roughly a $30,000 profit. So I'm gonna show you guys the full video of basically when I got in the market, when I got out of the market. It's not really a long video, it's like a 12-minute video. That's how long it took me to make 30 grand in 12 minutes. For those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you guys would already know that I basically trade with my students almost every single day. I'm showing my trades. I'm showing 20, 30, 40, $50,000 winning trades. I'm showing withdrawals, and you guys already know not many people in this industry actually show withdrawals. I'm not even showing like a $2,000 withdrawal, $3,000 withdrawal. I'm showing big withdrawals, $50,000 withdrawals. I mean, just go watch the last few YouTube videos that I posted. Showing some pretty big withdrawals. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, this live trade. I mean, you literally see me. You literally see the trade from start to finish. Now, quick announcement before the video actually starts. I have gotten a ton of requests through Instagram, as you guys already know, because I literally show all of my trades almost every single day on Instagram, what positions I'm taking, the profits I'm up, etc., etc., withdrawals. Again, I've been getting a ton of requests, literally blown up, to open up the live room, and it all started with a Q&A. Somebody asked me if I would open up the live room to the public through Q&A, and I pretty much responded to them. I said, I don't know, maybe. And since then, my DMs have been getting blown up with opening up the live room. So the time is finally here. After talking about it with my team, we decided to open up the Day Trading Institution live trading room. So if you guys want to join the live trading room, trade with me live every single day, and get locked in at a discounted price on launch day, then make sure you guys join the wait list. The wait list will be down in the description. Come trade live with me almost every single day, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Keep in mind though, guys, there's more value than just the positions that we're taking in the live room. So not only are you going to be making money with us, you're on top of that going to be learning. You'll be included in different conversations where we talk about trading psychology, we talk about business, we talk about life. We literally talk about everything in the live room while we wait for our setups to actually form. Other than that, guys, if you want to join the Day Trading Institution live trading room, we're gonna open it up soon. Just make sure you guys join the wait list to stay updated. And anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.
Since I've been trading for a long, I never used to pay attention to yellow folders. I don't know how it works with indices pairs, but I saw that was FOMC, so I was like, maybe I should pay attention to it. But it's FOMC, most likely I should pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
bro.
was gonna say SBS.
Bro, I'm
looks
so
good
glad
right
I held the NASDAQ, bro.
You see what happens when we distract ourselves in conversation?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm a secure here on NAS.
Yeah, it's rejecting way too much.
Yeah, bro, I secured it. My bad, bro. What were you saying? All right, what's good, everybody? So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Now I want to give you guys the breakdown as to why I actually ended up taking that position that I did on the Nasdaq. So really, it starts off on the daily time frame, and essentially what I saw is that we have major resistance up in this range over here, being this roughly 12,169 area. Price rejected resistance here, and then we saw a big bearish move happen from that resistance level. Price ended up pulling all the way back up into resistance, and we saw yet again another rejection. So those two rejections gave me a clue that we could potentially see price continue to maintain lower, and we could potentially see price continue to trade bearish because of the rejections we're getting towards the upside, and because of the rejections we're getting towards that area of previous resistance. What was once held as support over here now actually started to hold as resistance. So from a higher time frame perspective, because of that area of resistance continue to actually hold, I continue to look for sell positions, especially when we came down to a lower time frame and we look at like the hour time frame. We see that price rejected resistance here, made a lower high, and then made new lows here. And then pre-market hours, we had a price actually pull all the way back up into this resistance range and reject yet again. So in my head, if we've seen price in the past reject this 12,120 area, there's a high probability we're going to come back down into this support range. So with price rejecting resistance again here, what I saw was an opportunity for me to look to sell back down into this support range at 12,024. Right, again, everything is all based off of probabilities. If price did this once in the past, it could do it again in the future, especially if this area continue to actually hold and maintain. Now, my game plan going into the day was, okay, well, if we actually start to break out higher, then I'll wait and see what happens if price does get into this 12,118 area and maybe look to sell there. Now, if we get a break above and a retest and rejection, then I'll look to actually buy, which this happened obviously way after. This happened literally 3 hours ago. This actually rejection here, right? Now, price actually ended up coming down and continuing to make new lows. So I was on a 5-minute time frame, and what I saw and what I was looking at was basically this 5-minute structure. We had price in the market open actually come up, start to reject this area, but then I waited for economic data to actually be released, which I believe it was consumer sentiment, and price ended up pumping up, which is why I didn't trade on a possible sell here, because we had literally the economic data release at 10 o'clock and we saw price actually go up at 10. So I waited for the kind of economic data to slow down, or at least the impulsive moves that we were seeing because of that data release to actually slow down. And once price broke above this area, it's like, okay, well, we've broken above this structure zone. We can actually see price pump back up into this resistance range. That wasn't the case. Price ended up coming back down, rejecting, and closing back under the structure zone. So if you guys look at price action, we see price close under this area of previous resistance, under this structure zone that we have here, where if you look left, there's also resistance here as well. So this 1270 area definitely is an area of interest to me. Price ended up rejecting, and moved away, and I didn't take a position here. This is where initially I wanted to take a position, but I wanted to wait a little bit longer just to play it a little bit safe, because again, I was thinking, you know, we could probably see price come up to here, right? So that wasn't the case. And again, like, I can already see what happened with price, obviously, but at this point in time, price was consolidating in between the structure zone and the VWAP. So I thought, you know what, if price can maintain under the VWAP, we may see actually price go up. Once price broke under the VWAP, that's like, okay, now we can actually look to sell, and look to sell towards that support range. Now, price is already too low and has already kind of rejected that support range. So I asked myself, okay, well, where could we possibly look to get in on a potential continued sells back down to this range, even if the move isn't that big? As long as I get a positive risk to reward ratio, ultimately that's what's more important to me. And I thought to myself, well, if price can actually come back up into either this structure zone where the VWAP is, or this resistance range, then I'll look to sell here. So essentially on the 5-minute time frame, what I saw was price actually started to come up into this resistance range, this support range that I actually have marked off here. And I thought to myself, okay, well, if price can actually start to reject this area, then I'll start looking for sells. So price ended up coming up into that range, and then this is where I basically made my entry on this rejection here on the 1 minute time frame, because again, this is where price held as support, and I wanted to see if that area would still hold as resistance, which initially it did at first, right? Now when I made my entry, I saw that there was also resistance over here. So essentially what I was thinking to myself was, okay, well, you know, if I make an entry over here in this area, then I would want my stop loss to be above resistance, which I was looking to have a stop loss over here. So my stop loss was literally up in this range over here, which as you guys could see, I wasn't too great on my entry. My entry was definitely a little bit early, which is something that I had to add on my trading journal just to keep you guys in mind. And again, I want to show you guys transparency that I'm not the perfect trader. But more importantly, I did make money on this position, which is obviously great, but you do have to learn from your mistakes. And one of my mistakes in this position was I maybe entered a little bit too early or didn't enter at the level that I initially wanted to enter, which, I mean, at the end of the day, it played out because price never ended up coming up into this level, but I could have at least waited for maybe this rejection and gotten also a better entry. Nonetheless, this is the entry zone that I was looking for. This was my entry zone number 1, being 1257. Now 1257 was my first entry zone, because if we go to the hour time frame on the NASDAQ, let me go all the way back. If you put a cursor right here at this 1257, 1261 area, we do have this area of support here on the hour time frame. So that's why I entered at the area that I did. What I saw was that support held as resistance, and we could see a move back down to 2025. So price ended up pulling back up after I made my entry on this candlestick here, with my stop loss up here a little bit tight at the 1272 area. As you guys saw, I did hold through some drawdown. Now my total risk on this position, I believe, was about like $9,000-ish dollars. As you guys saw, I gained around $30,000 on this trade, and ultimately price just went in my favor. I continued to hold, break under the VWAP, came back up, retested, rejected VWAP, which I could have added an entry there, but I was already in on this position, and I didn't want to add on a position like this, especially since we were kind of close already to support and this rejection to the downside. But then price ended up flushing, pulled back, flushed even lower. Once I saw price was actually rejecting this area of support, that's when I decided to actually close my position, and I got out of the trade, and then price flew right after that. So I wanted to hold my position to a possible lower target. If price would have actually broken under this 1224 area of support, then we could easily see price come all the way back down into this area of support over here, excuse me. So now price is trading at 12,000. I mean, it was a great trade, $30,000 trade, made roughly 3 times my risk. Now going into tomorrow, just to give you guys a breakdown of what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. I mean, there's 30 minutes until the daily closes. So let's say the daily does close like this. We are again rejecting this area of resistance, and I will be expecting price to continue to come down into its next support range, where we do actually have support at this area over here. We have support roughly at around 11,907. So that's where I would probably expect price to actually go to tomorrow. 4-hour time frame, still maintaining lower lows, lower highs. For those of you guys that like to use trend lines, you can have a possible trend line here. As you guys can see, we have lower lows and lower highs. Now there is a lot of bearish volume and a lot of bearish pressure or selling pressure at this area, which I did take a position here, and I did catch a move from this point to about this point down here. But I wanted to hold the position, but I just, I for some reason I just can't hold positions over session. So that's another position that I ended up catching, but this video obviously isn't about that trade. This video is about the position that I actually closed out of earlier in the morning. Now again, when it comes to tomorrow, what I'll be expecting out of the NASDAQ tomorrow, it really depends on where the NASDAQ is trading. I wouldn't look for buys unless we really start to break above this 12,118 area. That's where I'm going to start looking for buys. But let's say the NASDAQ opens up and we're trading under this 12,024 area of support. The way I would really kind of have this marked off now would be this here, this kind of 12,000-ish range. This would be the current range that I would be looking at. I mean, everyone's going to have very different perspectives on the range, but this is kind of why I have it marked off at 12,030, 12,024, because it's that area on the 4-hour time frame. So coming tomorrow, if the NASDAQ is trading under this 12,030, under this 12,011 range, what I'll look for is a retest. And if price continues to hold that area as resistance, right, then I'll look for sells back down into 11,900. And if price breaks that, then hey, we could see continued sells on the way down. If price does actually break above this 12,030 range, then we actually can expect price to come all the way back up into this range here. Is it likely? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say it's likely that's going to happen, but again, it's a possibility. At this point in time, with price breaking under support, I would like to continue to see price maintain under support for continued sells. And you know, anything above this 12,000, I mean, we could probably just see steeper pullbacks. So anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Again, if you guys want to join me and trade with me live 3 to 5 times a week, then make sure you guys join the wait list for the Day Trading Institution, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.